Hello there friends! I can already tell, based on the title of this video, that that guy who responded to PC Gamer being mad at Sekiro is already typing that you not only cheated yourself, but the game. You didn't grow, you're terrible, you took a shortcut and gained nothing. That guy's probably already typing that in the comments, it's fine. I'm bad at video games. I've established that before, I will establish that until the end of time. I'm not particularly good at games. I'm not like terrible at games. I can usually beat any game, but if you're looking for high level play, you've come to the wrong place. You're looking at the wrong person for high level video game play. I was playing NES Online last night, which I'll talk about more in a second, and it just made me think, rewind features in games are so nice. And I want them in every single game. I always bounced off of Mega Man. The original Mega Man games were too hard for me. They're just punishing and a little mean. And I'm probably going to talk about that a little more in a different video next week. I could never beat Mega Man games. It was just, they were above my skill level. I did not have the patience or expertise to master them. But then, when they released on Nintendo Switch, they had a rewind function. And that made Mega Man games much easier to beat and much more pleasant to beat. And what, I've beaten Mega Man 1 through I think 4 now, and X and 11. So I'm like, I played enough Mega Man games to form an opinion on Mega Man now, thanks to that wonderful rewind feature that they put in the game. And I was just thinking to myself, I wish all games had rewind features. And again, last month, Nintendo updated the NES Online app with a rewind feature, so that all the games that are in that app, and there's a ton of them at this stage, there's like, I don't know, 40 NES games of varying degrees of quality on that app at the moment, and they added a rewind feature. And they already had save states, and save states is like halfway there. Save states, I can save scum my way through any game as well, but rewind features just make it so much easier and so much more pleasant. So that if you're playing Dr. Mario and you accidentally drop a wrong virus medicine block, medicine tab, I guess they're viruses, you're dropping medicine on the viruses, you're dropping medicine blocks, there we go, and you drop it in the wrong place, you can just rewind, it's fine. And if you accidentally run headfirst into a Goomba, it's fine. In Super Mario Bros. It's okay. Everything's gonna be good. Or if you're playing Legend of Zelda and, like me, you love the laser sword, and the game becomes much easier if you're on full health and you have the sword that shoots laser beams, well, you can just rewind anytime you get hit, and then kill the bokoblins and skeletons and bats and all the other things that are threatening me from a nice, safe distance where they can't hurt you nearly as easily. And like, I get purists are like, that's not how the game was meant to be played, but like, NES games kind of suck. But they don't suck, but they were designed at the time. The prominent gameplay design in the early to mid 80s was arcade games. That's where like the mass knowledge of video game design came from. And arcade games are designed for you to lose once every like 2 minutes. It's something that I think the sweet spot is 2 minutes per quarter, something like that. So they get more money out of you. It's the video games was built on microtransactions. Woo! But like that's the game design. That's the game design philosophy was either that, or because obviously it's the restrictions of the hardware at the time, to turn a 2-hour experience into closer to like an 8 or 9 one, just via unfair difficulty. And like those games, they don't age super well, but like there's still good stuff in them, and they're still fun when you can get around like the degree to which they age badly. And you know how they get around the degree to which they age badly? A rewind feature. And I want this in every game, because like all of these NES games are so much better with a rewind feature. I want game designers to put them in every single game, like Braid's a game that's built around a rewind feature. I get why there's not a rewind feature in every game, because, you know, people design games a certain way and want them to be played a certain way, and don't want you just breaking their video game by just being able to tap rewind and go back and try again and over and over and over again. I get why game designers don't do that, and I'd imagine on more modern hardware it's probably more technically difficult to just rewind a game, to just like go back to where you were 15 seconds ago. But I will at least accept the compromise of every re-release of a game should have it put in the game. And then there's the other side of that, which is a fairly interesting argument that raised its head around Sekiro, but then was dragged into nonsense. It was like the idea of artistic intent versus accessibility, and that there is occasionally a dividing line there. That if developers want to make a game a certain way, and with a certain difficulty, they should probably be allowed to do that. That's cool, not every game has to be for everybody, but then if you were to say, yo, make every game accessible to every kind of player, I'd also say, yeah, that seems like a reasonable thing to do. And like the obvious way to do that is difficulty levels. So allow people to choose the difficulty they want to approach a game with, instead of making it arbitrarily hard or hand-holdingly easy, have a form that is hand-holdingly easy, and have a form that is arbitrarily hard. So everybody gets the experience they want. Of course, that takes more development time and greater efforts toward balance, but I think it's worthwhile. It'll make your game better. But never mind all that, just put a rewind feature in the game. At the very least, I will settle for all re-releases of old games having rewind features. Like, eventually when Super Nintendo games are added to Nintendo Online, which, God forbid, is sooner rather than later. Slowly losing my mind with the games they're trickling out. I will settle for rewind features being added to all of those games, and all re-releases of old games. Though actually, now that I think about it, I'm just as big a fan of fast-forward features as I am rewind features. This is particularly applying to RPGs, but Final Fantasy VII's recent re-releases, and Final Fantasy IX as well, both have fast-forward functions. And Final Fantasy XII. Final Fantasy XII is such a more playable game with the Zodiac edition that was released a couple of years ago, because it has a fast-forward function that just makes the grind so much more pleasant. And like, especially when you've already played all those games, and those games are long, and those games have like sequences that you're like, yeah, I wish I could fast-forward through this just a little bit quicker, and you can. So yeah, I'm also going to add fast-forward features to every game. Do you think this is an unreasonable request, that every game should be able to be rewinded or fast-forwarded at any given moment? No, I don't think it's unreasonable. But like, really, like, those NES games are very good for their time, except some of them. Some of them are just bad. But they are so much more pleasant just being able to zip right through them. And it makes it so much better and easier for dopes like me who are like, ugh, I don't want to have to work my way through this Dr. Mario level all over again and get the frickin' whittle down the viruses to knock out the viruses, or get the medicine out of the way that I accidentally put in the way. I just want to cheat. I do want to cheat the game, and you might say, person who responded to that tweet about Sekiro, I risked nothing. That's true. I just had a more fun time. So who's really winning at the end of the day there? Spoiler to me. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know a game you'd like a rewind feature to be added, or if you think I'm talking nonsense, which there's always like a good 45% chance I'm always talking nonsense. Let me know! Follow me on Twitter at GarrettKidneyGA or ETTKIDNEY. On your left, a review of Spider-Man on PS4. On your right, the Black Mage Village from Final Fantasy IX. Rules. You should play that game with the fast forward function on Nintendo Switch. Thanks for watching.